All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. How's everybody doing? What is up, and how are you feeling? I hope you're feeling well. I hope you're in a good mood, and I hope you're ready for a fun day of streaming. My last streaming day of the week, and I know that's weird because, I originally, first of all, it wasn't supposed to be my last streaming day of the week today. It was supposed to be tomorrow, actually. Um, and normally I would take off a Tuesday during the week, but this week is an exception because of some incoming inclement weather, which is throwing us off a little bit here in Washington State. Although it's hilarious because I checked the weather last night. Okay, I'm like, I basically Kat told me that she kept running into people yesterday when she was out, work, who were freaking out about this incoming snow that we're supposed to be getting on Monday and Tuesday. Like, people were like completely freaking out about it. Oh my God, we're getting snow. You better be ready for it. It's going to be a pain in the butt. Okay? And then I look up on the weather, and it says, no lie, on Monday we're going to get about an inch of snow, maybe. Monday night, maybe we'll get an inch of snow. And then on Tuesday, we'll get maybe an inch of snow. And that's it. At least in this area. Okay? Maybe in other parts of Washington State, the snow is going to be worse. But according to the weather, it's not going to be that big of a deal. And both Kat and I come from places where we used to get tons of snow. We used to get, feet of snow at a time. So when we hear things like, oh, you're going to get an inch of snow, like, that's not even like, to us, that's not even snow, To us, that's like a joke. There's like, what, are you kidding me? This is supposed to be a big deal that we're getting this snow. That it's not going to amount to anything in reality. And what we're thinking is an inch. It's not, even if it sticks, right? Even if there's an inch of snow on the ground, you can easily drive through that. Just drive slow. And on most major roads, it won't even accumulate because cars will keep the roads warm, so it's not even going to be an issue. But apparently there's like people freaking out, rushing to stores to buy stuff because it's freaking snow coming. Oh my God. What it is out here, we have such moderate weather that when we actually do have something considered even minor inclement weather, the people out here freak out about it. So the truth of the matter is, I didn't really have to change my schedule for this week. I had changed it because I was afraid that we were going to get more than like an inch of snow. But now it's turning out, it's looking like we're not going to have more than an inch of snow. That it's actually going to be pretty reasonable, unless all of a sudden today they change the forecast out of nowhere, which I wouldn't be surprised. When it comes to weathermen and weather services, they tend to change things last minute. So maybe we will get a significant snowfall. Who knows? But I'm really not expecting much. I originally changed the schedule that I would be off tomorrow because I was thinking if you're going to have a lot of snow, you better go out on a day before the snow hits bad, right? Because if you go out when the snow is already hitting badly, that's not, you're going to have a problem driving through it. It's going to be sludgy and everything, and obviously that's not what we want to do. But it looks like it's going to be fine now. It doesn't look like it's going to be a big deal at all. But anyway, I had already changed the schedule. I said I'm not going to change it back now. That would be pretty stupid. So, yeah, today's my last streaming day of the week, and then I'll be back on Tuesday with another full day of streaming. In fact, this week it'll now be 7 straight days of streaming because of this. Okay? 7 straight days. Fernal has actually made an interesting point in the stream chat. He says, with places like that, they don't have no infrastructure for snow removal. You're actually right. Like, when there's big snow here, because the entire time I've lived here, over 5 years, there's only maybe been like 2 big snows ever where it accumulated maybe like a foot or something like that. And you're right, like, they really don't have the proper equipment to handle proper snow removal because it's so rare that it happens that they're not really ready for it when it actually does hit. But I'm not too worried. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I think tomorrow we're going to go out. Maybe it'll have some snow showers while we're out. It's not going to be a giant deal or anything like that. Okay? So anyway, yes, today, my last streaming day of the week, simply because I had already changed the schedule. Hopefully it'll work out for us tomorrow. And I'll be back on Tuesday. I guess we'll talk about the schedule a little bit. Before we do that, though, a couple quick things. First of all, reminder, this is it. Today is the final day to nominate any games for the upcoming Viewer's Choice. In fact, after my first stream and after I eat dinner today, I am actually going to be making the poll by which you guys are now going to be voting on what games you want to see in the Viewer's Choice event, okay? So that poll will be going live later today. I will post it up on my Twitter and share it with all of you so that you guys can vote. You know, I'm very curious to see what games made the final poll. I'll have no idea. I literally have no idea. I haven't looked. I have not looked once at what you guys nominated. I'm not even kidding. I've been very busy. I didn't even give it a single look. I have no clue what to expect. So this will be a shock for me when I actually, you know, get to looking at it later today and seeing what you guys nominated for the event. And, you know, it should be good, I hope. Usually the Viewer's Choice ends up being pretty good. Play Scratch Nutty Adventure just asked me, so how does it work? How many games will make it to the final poll? Well, what we're going to do is see how many games got nominated multiple times, okay? And directly dependent on how many games got nominated multiple times, we're going to basically narrow it down. I usually narrow it down to, I'd say, around 8 to 10 games. The way I see it is, if I put too many games into the poll, that's going to make it too confusing and too many options, okay? So typically, I'll make it about 8 to 10 games. I know some people get angry because maybe their favorite game got nominated once and didn't make it to the poll. That's happened before, and I'm like, well, what can you do? I can't have every single game be in the poll. If you have a poll with 20, 30 games, right, now you've watered it down so much that it's going to take, number one, it's going to be impossible for anyone to decide what to vote for. And number two, you're going to have a poll that's so cluttered, it's going to be messy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be doing that. So, that's the deal. The poll will go live later today, probably between 8 and 10 games. We'll see. And we'll go from there. I'll let you know when it's live. Hopefully, you know, you guys enjoy whatever games, you know, made it into the final poll. And you'll be able to vote for some good stuff, and it'll be a good event, all right? Typically, when we do Viewer's Choice, this stuff ends up being really good. I've done lots of different games and franchises over the years as a result of Viewer's Choice that have turned out to be really fun playthroughs and really fun series. So, yeah, I'm feeling good about this. I hope you guys are too. Okay. The other thing is, I'm not feeling too good today with my stomach. I don't know what's going on with me with my stomach today. I woke up, and I've talked about this before, but you ever wake up feeling green? You know what that means? Like you wake up and your stomach is feeling like really queasy, and you feel like at any moment if you move the wrong way, things aren't going to go so well. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I felt when I woke up this morning. I was like, I don't know what's going on, because it's not like I had a bad late night snack or anything. It's not like I ate a Hot Pocket or disgusting leftover Pizza Hut pizza or anything like that. So I don't know what happened. I felt really sick to my stomach, and I immediately took some Tums, and then I went downstairs, and I actually felt like I would like a coffee today, but I forewent the coffee. I said, I'm not having a coffee because my stomach feels so bad. Who knows how coffee's going to affect it, right? So I'm just drinking water right now, and trying to feel a little better. In reality, I'll be honest, like the past 15 minutes, I think I've actually felt better a little bit, but I am kind of feeling a little bit queasy, so hopefully, this is not that big of a deal, and I'll be okay today, you know. Not that I've never felt like this before. I mean, it happens. It just for me, it was random, because it was like I didn't feel like this last night when I went to sleep, and in fact, I woke up in the middle of the night because of Jasper, and I didn't feel like this either. And I was like, then all of a sudden I wake up and my stomach feels like this. I'm like, ugh, it's kind of shitty. But it is what it is. Hopefully I'll be all right. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. But just to forewarn you guys, in case something happens, I have to run to the bathroom or something, you know, I think we should be all right. I know some people are like, what's going on? Is there something going on, you know, behind the scenes that we don't know about and it's making you stressed out? Actually, no. Like, there's nothing going on right now. It's not like that either. I don't know. It's just a random thing. Kind of happened out of nowhere. So, all right. So anyway, that's that. Let's get to the schedule so you guys know what to expect, what's going on the streams and everything. Okay? So, today, Final Fantasy VI continuing. I'm excited. As you know, I love this playthrough. I love this game. This playthrough, in my opinion, much better than the original playthrough I did in 2012, because I am doing this live streaming, interacting with you guys, and we're having a fun time together. I actually got Sid to live, which is amazing. Sid passed away in my first playthrough of this years ago, which really disappointed me, but he's alive in this playthrough, which is excellent. Just good stuff all around. I'm really enjoying it. So we are in... oh my god, excuse me. Here we go. Just to forewarn all you, here we go. We are in the second half of the game. We are approaching the end of the game. In fact, right now, if I wanted to, I could go directly to the end of the game and beat it. But this game has a large amount of very fun side content in it, okay? And the reason that I really like this game more than other Final Fantasy games, one of the major reasons, is because of how open world it is in the second half, where you can do it in pretty much any order. Like, we've been trying to get all our friends together, right? So far, we've gotten, you know, in the last couple sessions, we got Cyan, Gao, Setzer, you know, the Figaro brothers, and now Terra we just got back. Realm, Strago, you know, everyone is being reunited. And it's this really awesome feeling of all your friends have gotten back together, and, you know, you're reinvigorating them to save the world. It's a really cool way that they did the second half of this game. You know, I've played other Final Fantasies, and my criticism is it doesn't really let you do enough open world stuff until, like, a certain segment. This game, the whole second half of the game is wide open, which is really neat. And I like that about it. So that's what we've been doing, and there's going to be a lot more open world stuff today. In fact, when at the end of the last stream of Final Fantasy VI, I counted. I was like, oh my god, we've got like 5 dungeons before the final dungeon. We actually have like a ton of stuff still left to do, even though I've done so much stuff. So, this should be neat. Fun stream today. What order are we doing stuff? I don't know. I remember the last thing we did is we got Terra back in the party, but Celeste is the better magic user now because Celeste has been kind of the main character of the second half of the game, and we've been using her. And by the way, we've been giving her the experience egg, so she's been getting double experience from every fight, which is why she's like almost 10 levels above everybody else. And you know, I'm wondering, do we even want to use Terra at this point? Maybe Terra should just be our backup. At the same time, though, if we don't like level up Terra, what's going to end up happening is when we get to the end game, it's going to be very frustrating and difficult. So it's a trade-off. I don't know. I got to think about it. I got to think about what I want to do. Yeah, I got to think about what I want to do and go from there. So we'll think about the order we want to do today, who I want to put in my party. So many dungeons and things coming up that are fun. It's going to be a great stream. Now, I think between today and maybe one more stream, I think that's going to be it for Final Fantasy. I think that, I think that we're pretty much going to wrap it up within another stream. I don't think there's enough left in the game to support another Final Fantasy stream out of this one and one more. So this is pretty much, we're getting into the last hurrah, all right, where you know, today will be all side content, trying to get back most of the party members, and then maybe one more major stream of it later in the week where we wrap up the final side content. You know, we wrap up the final side content, and then we try to finish up the game. Okay, so there you go. So, yes, good stuff. Major Final Fantasy stream today. Later tonight, it's going to be some good stuff as well. We're going to be doing Minecraft, excuse me. No, we're not. We're going to be doing Pokemon. I said the wrong thing completely. We're going to be doing Pokemon. And the reason this Pokemon stream is notable is because this is, in the entirety of me playing this game since November, excuse me, this is the first major time that I'm actually going to be playing the game as a night stream. I've been playing Pokemon as a major stream, 4+ hour streams, ever since it released. I think the very first day it released, I did it as the night stream, but outside of that, it's always been the daytime stream, okay? Now, why this is different is because when you play the game at night, number one, the game actually looks different. Like, the game, you know, will actually look like a different time. You know, the sun will be down, the moon will be out, or whatever. From what I'm to understand, this is going to change a few things about the game. Now, is it going to completely change the game? No, of course not. But there's things you could do at night. Like, you can evolve certain Pokemon only at night, okay? And I haven't been able to do that because I've always been playing it during the day. So I've been very limited, you know, with what I could do because I only played during the daytime. So we're going to see tonight how things get changed and affected by playing it at night. I'm going to try to catch more Pokemon, evolve more Pokemon. Yesterday was a really great Pokemon stream. I got up to 305 Pokemon. So we got less than 100 to go. And, let's see how tonight goes. All right, should be fun. And that's going to be it for the streaming week. Like I said, tomorrow I will be off from streaming. But I shall return on Tuesday. When I return on Tuesday, it'll be a full Knights of the Old Republic stream, which should be great. People have really been enjoying that playthrough. I have never played the game before. It's my first honest playthrough of the game. People really seem to dig it. It's one of those games that I completely missed out on during that era when I was only playing competitive Street Fighter. And now being able to finally kind of explore and play a game that was very much the predecessor of games such as like Dragon Age, and other BioWare games that have come out over the years, it's been really cool. It's just seeing I see this this is very similar to this thing in Dragon Age, and now I understand how that kind of led into what they did with that game and stuff like that. It's really neat to kind of go through gaming history and see this kind of stuff. So I'm really enjoying the game. Plus, of course, I'm doing a dark side playthrough where I'm doing all the evil choices. And that's really neat because, being able to see what they did with the dialogue and how they changed it up for doing the evil choices and basically make your character different is pretty cool. I really like it. So I hope you guys, again, are liking that playthrough. The popular feedback I've been getting is that you guys really like it. So great. Thanks for that. Thanks for tuning into that playthrough. And yes, that will be continuing Tuesday as the major stream. Okay, guys? Then Tuesday night, I'll be doing my Minecraft chill stream for the week. Normally it would be Monday nights, but because I'm not here Monday, it'll be Tuesday night this week, okay? We're going to be keeping exploring the open world, going around on the map that we were populating, seeing what else is there. And then once we're done with that, we're going to work on a shrine to Mr. Papavera, because it was actually last week when the top contributor said, Mr. Papavera has been such a positive contributor to all of your Minecraft streams over the last year, majorly helping you with diagrams and how-tos and all kinds of stuff, that why don't we do something in his honor that he would like? So Mr. Papavera is actually currently looking up and designing a shrine that he would like to build, or have me build in the game. So it's going to kind of be dual purpose, where number one, I'm going to be exploring the world, and number two, I'm going to be resource gathering once I finish with the exploration. Okay? So it should be a fun stream coming up this Tuesday night. Yeah, Mr. Papavera is in stream chatting today. In fact, he says, I'm actually just working on it right now. Awesome. Very nice. Okay, and then Wednesday, we're going to continue on with everything. So I think on Wednesday, we're going to be swinging back to Final Fantasy for a major stream. And it looks like that's probably going to be the final Final Fantasy 6 stream where we wrap up the game. Good thing, because we got a new release coming out, and it's an RPG. So, don't want to be doing too many of the same style of game at once. So it's pretty cool that that'll be coming out. That'll be finishing on Wednesday, and then we'll be heading into some new content later in the week, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. Okay? So that'll be cool. Wednesday night, I am not doing PUBG. Thank God. I say thank God like it's a big deal, but yeah, I'm not doing PUBG for a change. Instead, it's going to be the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon demo. Yes, I'm actually going to be checking out the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon demo, which I have not ever played a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game ever. So this will definitely be a fun experience for me. For the first time, experiencing what this franchise has to offer. I really don't even know what to expect, because like I said, I don't know anything about it. So this should be quite neat, in my opinion. I think it should be pretty fun, and we'll see how this turns out on Wednesday. All right. Apparently it's only about an hour long, for what I have to understand. So since it's only an hour long, more than likely, we'll have a half stream where I'll just kind of hang out with you guys and chill and have some fun, rather than worrying about, oh no, the stream's short and now we have to rush through it or whatever. Okay. But yeah, it should be a good time, and I'm excited for it. And if it's good, if I end up liking it, okay, if I end up liking Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, then I'm probably gonna play the re-release that's coming out in March, because that's what this is a demo of, is this re-release that's going to be coming out. So we'll see. How much do I like it? Does it end up being something you guys like watching me play? And if it is, I'm more than likely I'll be playing it again, the full release in March. Okay? So that's cool. All right, and outside of that, later in the week, more stuff coming up, including the big podcast. This is going to be a very important podcast where I recap 2019. I tell you guys about stuff coming up in 2020, both personal and professional. We're going to go through the game release schedule, and we're actually going to talk about all the new releases coming out this year that I'm very interested in playing. It should be a very good time. All right, it should be a fun time. I hope you'll be here for that podcast. And of course, this Friday, it's the premiere of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, the RPG based on Dragon Ball Z that adds in new content and stuff, apparently. It should be pretty neat. I'm excited for it. I hope you guys will be here for that as well. The first actual major new release of the new year, right? There's been no new releases this year so far. This is the first major one, so I hope you won't miss it. I hope you'll tune in for that. Okay? All right. So good stuff all around. Really good streaming week coming up. Good variety. I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are excited for it as well. And that's the schedule. How does that sound? I hope that sounds good. Okay. Let's move on, guys. Let's move on. I'm just trying to double check if there's anything. No, I don't think. Oh, the one thing I should point out. Last night, we finished up Myst. All right? And it was super fun. I had a ton of fun with Myst. I really enjoyed this playthrough. It's a game that I had never played before from the 1990s that everyone had talked about and known, and I didn't know anything about it. So me playing it at, my honest first playthrough was really fun. I beat it last night, and a lot of people have asked me to play another game in the same vein as Myst. They said, will you play the direct sequel Riven? Or will you play other games from that era, like Seventh Guest or Phantasmagoria? Or is it Phantasmagoria or Gora? I forget. But anyway, the answer is yes. I am interested in playing more games like that because I had a lot of fun playing Myst. And I'm sure those games are cheap, too. They're probably a couple bucks, right? So, yes. Am I going to play them immediately? No, I'm not immediately going to start up another playthrough like that, but maybe soon. We'll see. We'll see how stuff goes here. But I'm definitely interested in checking out another game like that because I really liked it. I really just wow, this is fun as hell. To solve all these puzzles and everything. It was a good time. So yes, definitely I will probably be checking out stuff like that, in the future. Okay? But the other thing I want to bring up, last night was a very supportive stream. We had multiple hype trains. I know that sounds silly, but we did. We had multiple hype trains during the course of the playthrough. And if you take a look, the subs have jumped dramatically, guys. We are at 678 subs, which is incredibly close to the goal. Remember, we were way down around 620, and we jumped a ton of subs in the past few days. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because we have a good chance of hitting the sub goal this week. We really do. And I'm excited for that. Obviously, I want to hit the sub goal. For those who don't know, the sub goal this month is the return of the retrospective event. What that means is that we will look back over my over 11 years as an internet content creator. All right. And it should be pretty fun to reminisce and look at your favorite moments as you select. But also, for me, for the very first time, to actually be watching back some of these moments because, like I've told you guys over the years, most of the time I don't have a chance to go back and watch my own stuff. It's just I make the content, I release it, and that's it. And these events have always been fun. You guys really seem to like the retrospective events, okay? So I hope we can hit the goal. So just throwing that out there. If you have not subbed yet, we're very, very close to hitting the subs goal, all right? And I would say the hype train events that have, that just launched a few days ago, they've been pretty positive so far. You guys have actually been very supportive with the hype trains. It seems like when we get one going, people really do try to actively contribute to keep them going. I'm very appreciative of that. That's going to help out the channel overall in the long run. So thank you very much for that, anyone who's been participating in those. I'm certainly not expecting that to continue. I mean, it's pretty crazy that people have been so supportive with those hype train events. And I'm not expecting that that's going to be something that's going to keep going endlessly. You know what I mean? But thank you to those who have been doing it. Today in particular, doing Final Fantasy VI, am I expecting a hype train? No, I am not. I'm not expecting to have that. Usually when we play Final Fantasy VI, it's a slower, more chill stream. The attendance is a little bit lower. That's okay, you know. That's the good thing about being a variety streamer, is that I can play the games that I like. I don't constantly have to worry about, oh my god, this one particular stream isn't super hyper popular with people, right? I can do a variety of content and not constantly be worrying about that shit. It's not like when I used to be a full-time YouTuber and everything had to have views, right? By the way, a lot of people in the stream chat are now suggesting these kind of point-and-click games from the 90s. Thank you for that. I'll definitely, like I said, I'll definitely be looking into this at some point in the near future where I'm thinking, man, I think I want to play another game like that. I think I'll be probably doing that soon. So, thank you for those suggestions. Okay, so, there we go. Let's move on to the next segment, everybody. Let's move on to the gratuitous plugs, your favorite segment. I know, you guys wait for this, you know, all day. You're like, man, when is Phil going to do those plugs? It's about the damn time that he starts doing plugs, because we've been waiting, right? I know how you guys are. I know you guys just want to be advertised to all day. Yeah, right. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for 11 awesome years. You've allowed me to be a content creator and that you've hung out with me basically on a daily basis, whether you watch my videos on demand on YouTube back in the day, whether you're here live every day now hanging out with me on Twitch, whatever it is that you may have done or may be doing, you know, I am appreciative of all of your support over all of this time, okay? You know, today, things are a lot different than they used to be. You know, I used to be able to just be a full-time YouTuber and put out gameplay videos on YouTube, and it was all about ad revenue, and it's certainly not like that anymore. Now, I am pretty much solely dependent on crowdfunding during streams to make ends meet, and I do appreciate any contribution that you guys lend during a live stream, all right? We're going to talk about some of the ways that you guys can contribute in just a moment, and I'm very thankful for that you guys are here to hang out and have a good time, and you like it so much. You like the fact that I'm here 6 days a week full-time streaming, if not more. You like the fact that I still upload videos over on DSPGaming, so you can watch the videos on demand, you know, when you can't be here live for the streams. All that stuff, you know. You're appreciative of that and you want to contribute. Thank you for that, okay? But that being said, before we even get started today, please understand something. Even though contributions are greatly appreciated, they're not mandatory. I'm not expecting that anyone is going to contribute during today's stream, nor do I want anyone to feel like they're not welcome if they cannot contribute. That's not what it's all about. Back in the day, I made YouTube videos for 2.5 years before I ever monetized a single one, because I did it, you know, as a hobby, because gaming is my passion. You know, gaming is something that I grew up with. Gaming is something that I'm going to be doing probably for the rest of my life as long as I can. And I love, on a daily basis, being able to share my gameplay experiences with you. I know I'm one of the luckiest dudes on Earth because I get to do my hobby for my job. How many other people get to say that I do what I love for a living? Very few. And I'm very grateful for that experience. I'm very happy. And thank you guys for allowing me to do that, okay? But understand, nothing is expected of you guys. If you can't contribute, you can't contribute, and that's perfectly fine, all right? So, thanks for just hanging out with me. All right? Now, if you can go above and beyond, if you can contribute during today's stream, and you would like to, here's some of the ways that you could actively contribute. First of all, I have a Patreon over at patreon.com/darksidephil. This is where your monthly pledges earn you personal perks as a way of saying thank you very much for your contributions, okay? Not going to go into detail about those because obviously it's all listed over there in full detail, so there's no reason for me to go crazy talking about it. But, you know, thanks to anyone who does pledge, and thanks to anyone who maybe will give it a look now. Appreciate that. I have a Teespring store where I sell all kinds of merchandise, primarily t-shirts, but there's a few other things over there like mugs and stickers. So if you get anything from there, it obviously helps me out, and you get a cool collectible out of the deal. All right, so please give that a look as well if you could. Outside of that, if you're here live on the stream, you're probably going to want to contribute in a method that's going to get you some kind of a shout out, okay? If you cheer with bits, or you subscribe to the channel, or you tip me, I'm going to give you a live shout out during the stream, okay? As long as you abide by the rules of the stream and everything, of course. And that's cool because you get some notoriety for your contributions, obviously. It's a good way to get recognition and get noticed. In addition to the shout-outs, as you guys can see, I actually have a Stream Stats leaderboard that sits at the top of the screen. And this tracks things such as the top cheerer and the top tipper of the day. So that's another way to get extra recognition. Okay? And then, there's leaderboards that are integrated into Twitch itself that track things such as the top cheerers of the week, the top sub gifters of the week. We're going to give shout outs to those people in a few minutes as well. So there's many ways for you to get recognized and to get, noticed for your contributions today. Okay? Now, being very honest with all of you, you might say, you just said a million ways to contribute. What the heck's the best way to contribute? Because you mentioned so many options, right? The best way to contribute, guys, is by tipping me. Why? Because tips I get immediately, because tips I can use immediately for important stuff. For example, tomorrow is my day off. You want to know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow? Grocery shopping, errands, running around doing stuff that isn't particularly super fun, but is necessary. And when I do that stuff, I need to spend money. So when you do contribute via tipping, those funds help me directly with that stuff, okay? So, yeah, today, if you want to help me out the most, all right, the best way you could contribute would be by tipping me. A couple things about tipping. If you look below the stream, there's a tips jar button that you can click, or you could type !tip into the stream chat. That'll bring you to my tips page, all right? On my tips page, you'll find a lot of information, but in particular, if you want to tip me without using a registered PayPal account, that is possible, all right? Just want to let you know, you don't need a registered PayPal account with all those details or whatever there in order to actually tip me. It's not required. You actually could just use a debit or credit card. However, some people don't see that option when they go to the PayPal tips page. That's probably because you're on a mobile device like a phone or whatever, and it doesn't always load properly on there. So if you are interested in tipping, but you don't have, or you're not on a desktop computer, you might have to try to load the full version of the site. Or, like I said, you could just use a desktop computer and it should give you that option, okay? Now, one thing that's very important, all right? I want you guys to be protected. I'm looking out for you guys. I want to make sure that everyone is safe and that no one basically gets kind of harassed on the internet, all right? The reason I'm bringing this up is because sadly there are people who do malicious things to people just for the hell of it, all right? Just because they can, not because it gives them any kind of positive benefit or because they think that they're doing something that's meaningful or important, but just because they can mess with people, okay? And I've seen many people like this on the internet. They probably have horrible home lives in real life. That's why they do that. They try to get some kind of notoriety by hurting people on the internet, getting access to their information, etc. All right? So, if you guys are going to contribute during any stream today, not just mine, but anyone's stream, all right, I strongly recommend that you try to hide your identity so that no one will try to get your information and harass you online, okay? Oh, man, excuse me. Whew. In particular, if you are going to tip me today, okay, I will strongly recommend that you try to hide your identity by saying anonymous. Like, you say, your name is anonymous. See what I mean? You can say that. If you do that, no one will know it's you. No one will be the wiser. And that way, if you're not doing the tipping anonymously, no one will be able to find your personal information or try to harass you online, okay? That's the last thing I want. Someone coming on my stream trying to be a positive contributor, but then they say, oh, look, this person's name that they used to tip is the same name as their Twitter account or their Facebook. Let me go out and harass this person. And the other thing that people don't realize is all the information you put out online, especially on your social media, like you could have your family members, your job, all kinds of stuff on there that could be pretty much used against you, and a lot of people don't realize that. They think everything is safe on the internet. Well, hell no, it ain't. So just be careful. Be careful with what you do. All right, I want you guys to be safe and not be harassed by a bunch of assholes. So, just be careful, okay, guys? All right. Moving on. Let's talk about the stream rules, shall we, everyone? So, ladies and gentlemen, here on the streams, I have a certain kind of a philosophy. I want my streams to be in a way that when you come by, you could feel like you're just here to relax and have a good time. That you're here to escape all the stresses of your everyday life. You're just here to kind of relax, right? That's what it's all about. Relaxing, having fun with me, maybe seeing my honest reactions to whatever game I'm playing, interacting with me in the stream chat a little bit. That's what you're here for. You're not here for drama. You're not here for negativity, right? You're here for a good positive time. And I know that. That's why, that's the kind of stream that I try to maintain here on Twitch, okay? And so that being said, you know, that being said, there's a few things that I try to maintain on a stream, rules per se, that I feel keep a stream going in a positive light and basically make everyone have a good time, okay? The rules are as follows. First of all, there's a few topics that I feel are they basically cause a lot of arguments. People cannot seem to agree to disagree on certain topics on the internet, and sadly, when these topics come up, people tend to get really angry with each other. And so because of that, I don't really allow those topics as topics of discussion on my stream. Those topics are politics and religion, okay? People, for whatever reason, they really want to get angry with each other and, you know, oh, I don't agree on this, I don't agree on this. And the next thing you know, everyone's arguing with each other and everyone's having a bad time. And I don't want that on my stream. So that's why, in general, I don't allow those as general topics of discussion. However, we are playing a game that may have those as topics of discussion, okay? That's a different situation. That, you know, in accordance with what's going on in a game, absolutely, if we want to talk about politics or religion, that's a different subject altogether. But in general, just, you know, I don't want people to bring up Trump and Brexit and all this crap that's going to derail everything. You know, not allowed on my streams, okay? Number two, I'm well aware that there are tons of people on the internet who don't like me, who on a very daily basis try to basically do things to defame me, to insult me and my family members, to basically make my life miserable, okay? The reason they do this is varied, but in general, I found that the reason people really do it is because they're trying to get something out of it, personally for themselves. They feel that if, you know, they do this, they can get ad revenue and clicks and clickbait on YouTube. They feel that, you know, it gives them popularity, it gives them some kind of notoriety on the internet to do this kind of nasty stuff. The truth of the matter is, there's nothing I can do about it. These guys do it every single freaking day, in various ways. And, you know, I don't have money to sue these people to stop them. All right, so it's going to keep happening. You know, there's nothing that we can really do to control it. And the thing is, if we bring it up on stream, you're basically giving these people exactly what they want, more attention, okay? So please understand, it's strictly against the rules to bring that kind of stuff up. I'm well aware that it happens on a daily basis. We all know who these people are. There's no reason to be bringing them up in any kind of a light, because all it does is it gives them the attention they want. And the last thing we want to do is give them more attention, okay? So please understand that it's against the rules. Sometimes we get people who come in here and they innocently start bringing this stuff up, not realizing it's against the rules. I don't want anyone getting, you know, into trouble with moderation or whatever because they didn't know that. Fair enough? All right, ladies and gents. So I think we've covered everything. Let's now head on to the third and final segment of the stream. Excuse me, which is the gratuitous plugs. The gratuitous plug segment, where I say thanks for contributing and thanks for all the support. Okay, so without further ado, thank you to the following people. We actually had Alpha Merch, who resubscribed to the channel for 7 months in a row, actually 8 months total, earlier here today on the stream. So thank you very much, Alpha Merch, for that. I appreciate that. Thank you to Donna Larry Come In Here. I don't know what that means, but Donna Larry Come In Here tipped me $1 and says, what's your opinion on the state of movie tie-in games? Do you think they're dead? Do you feel they were only made to be cash grabs? What kind of movie tie-in games have you played over the years? Man, I can tell you, when I first started making videos for YouTube, the movie tie-in games were abundant, right? Like almost every major movie franchise had a movie tie-in game. Today, obviously, not so much. That's pretty much all gone by the wayside, and isn't really a factor anymore in anything. But back in the day, like I remember playing Thor. There was a Thor game. There was a Green Lantern game that came with pseudo 3D glasses. They were so stupid. And basically, they made everything look green when you wore these stupid glasses. That's what I mean. Like you're right. Like a lot of these movie games were essentially gimmicks. They weren't meant to be like serious games that were fun or great. They were just basically games that were meant to be movie cash-ins. Then again, you know, Captain America. I almost forgot. Remember Captain America? That was crazy too. Captain America game. I made fun of it the whole time, and it was hilarious. I remember that now. But then, you know, it's funny. Then they kind of dried up. I remember there was Amazing Spider-Man 2. I think was basically the last one. If you think about it, I think Amazing Spider-Man 2 was the last major movie tie-in game that I ever played. I can't really recall another one, after that. They kind of dried up. And you may say, well, why did that happen? Maybe it's because, people have become more picky in their gaming habits, and they stopped being a situation where people will just buy, like an impulse buy. Oh, I'm really hyped for that movie. I'm going to run to the movie theater. Or, excuse me. I'm going to run to the game store after I go to the movie theater to buy the game of the movie I just saw because I liked the movie so much, And let's face it, in a movie like Green Lantern, that wasn't so good anyway, right? Now you made a whole game based off of a movie that sucked, and now who's going to buy the game? Okay? So it may very well be that at one point people saw these movies as I keep saying movies instead of games. People saw these games as like guaranteed money. Like, wow, this is like guaranteed profit that we're gonna make. And now maybe not so much. Maybe now they look at it and they're like, it's not like that at all anymore. We can't sink a bunch of development time and money into a game that's not a guaranteed moneymaker, right? If anything, what we've seen is that it's kind of gone the other way, where now, instead of taking, a chance on a game like that, I really hope that, people will jump in on a movie tie-in game because they like the movie. Now it's like jump on the fad. What's the fad? Battle Royale, right? What's the fad? Co-op shooter games with your friends. And so they try to basically make it, what's the sure deal? What's the surefire bet? I remember back in the 90s, like, every movie tie-in game became popular because there was no, like, online game reviews. So no one knew if a game that was a tie-in with a movie was good or not. So you would rent a game, tie-in with the movie, and it could be a total piece of shit, or it could be great. I remember playing Batman Returns on the SNES and being blown away by the graphics and how fun it was. I was like, wow, this plays like Final Fight. This is really neat, And then you play Batman and Robin, or was it Batman Forever? And that game's a piece of donkey shit, You never knew. You never knew what you were getting with a movie tie-in game. But now, online reviews are abundant, So I think it's a different era. I do. I think that basically the game development studios realized it wasn't very profitable to do these big dollar license games anymore. It wasn't guaranteed money when you made a movie tie-in game anymore. And so they kind of moved away from that practice and decided they were going to focus on other things. Okay. Okay. I got a $2 anonymous tip. If someone says, happy Sunday, Phil, you should consider playing a game like XCOM 2 again for one of your downtime playthroughs. Your contributors could name your squad members, and the rage would be epic. Cheers. So, thank you for the suggestion. For those who don't know, I did actually play XCOM 1, okay, way back in the day when it first came out for consoles. And I mean way back in the day because that was right after the E3 that I attended. And I believe the E3 I attended was 2012. So I think it came out either late 2012 or early 2013. So we're talking a very long time ago. I played the original XCOM. And I remember that's exactly what I did. Like, basically, I named my characters silly shit. And then other people made suggestions on what to name characters. And I named the characters after that as well. And, it ended up being pretty fun. Because it was not only about the turn-based strategy combat, but it was also about being kind of silly with the naming of the characters and everything. But essentially, after I got about, if I'm trying to remember, I want to say I played it for like maybe 12, 15 hours, something like that. And then the game changed. Instead of kind of being fun because we were out of the tutorial area, the game started getting really difficult. And what people started telling me was what the game expects you to do is go back and grind. Like, take your characters and go grind on stages that are side missions so that you can get extra experience and items and the like, so that you could prepare for the major story-based missions. Well, I didn't want to grind, I was playing the game as a streamlined playthrough. As you guys remember, back in the day, before I was, an interactive live streamer, I used to make the videos just for YouTube, and I basically had to try to turbo through games, even though there were some games where I would try to do all the side missions if I really liked it. Most games, I had to try to basically get through the story if I could, and, that was the situation with this game was people were complaining that the game was too long and that they wanted to see more story, and I was just doing the same stuff. It was boring. So I got to a point in the game where it got so tough, so difficult, that I just basically stopped playing because I didn't want to sit there grinding endlessly. And people were complaining about the playthrough, saying that they didn't feel that it was super fun anymore. So I never finished the original XCOM. Then when XCOM 2 came out, people wanted me to play it, but in some weird move, the game developers decided it would be a PC exclusive. So I didn't play it. And then it was about a year later when they actually released it for consoles. I just didn't care about it anymore. You know, I was like, man, I would have definitely played this if it were a new release on a console. But instead, here it is a year later, and it's finally coming out. And anyone who wanted to see a playthrough of this must have already seen it. So I just didn't care about it. And I never played it. Okay? Now, I agree with you, Anonymous Tipper, that perhaps today's new, well, I say new, I've been doing this for almost 3 years now. Today's style of stream lends itself a little bit more to this kind of game, because you're right, it could be more of a chill stream where people kind of talk with me and interact and give me tips and, oh, you should name this character this and do this with this character, etc. I don't know if I would go to XCOM 2. Like what I'm thinking is, if a new XCOM game released, and again, if it were a console release, not a freaking PC exclusive like XCOM 2 was, excuse me, then I would definitely consider playing it as a game that would be basically kind of a chill stream playthrough or whatever. But I don't think it makes sense for me to go back and play an old-ass game from years ago that I didn't really care about because it was a PC exclusive, and I had tried to play the franchise. People didn't really dig it back then. You see what I mean? New release gives it a little bit of extra hype that makes it more viable for a playthrough, I feel. So I would say, no, I'm not interested in going back and playing XCOM 2 at this point. I'm not completely writing it off as any possibility in the future, but I just think at this point it doesn't make sense. But thank you for the suggestion. And thank you for the tip. Okay. Venom Symbiote, or X-Venom Symbiote, excuse me, subscribed to the channel for 3 months in a row, 20 months total. Thank you for the long-standing support. And they say, will you stream E3? Will you interact with Stream Chat? Will you also do a full unboxing video of the PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox? Well, I do not live restream E3. What I do is I watch E3 with all of you, and I live comment in the Stream Chat with you while it's going on live. I take notes about what's going on at E3, and then I do a video where I basically kind of recap what happened, and I give you my opinions on everything that I saw. The reason I do it like this is because I feel that when people do the live reaction videos to E3, that they're really stupid. They're basically the ultimate fluff content, okay? They're meant to give you silly reactions so that you're like, oh, wow. It's the same thing that I say when people make drama videos on YouTube. It's just meant to be silly. It's not interesting. It's not intelligent. Some people think it's entertaining. I don't. I think that doing live reactions to something, oh my god, wow, oh, you're so thrilled, or oh, it looks like shit, I don't like that. What I like to do, I'll watch E3, I'll let it sink in for a bit, and then I'll do my video where I tell you everything I think about what I saw, because I have an intelligent thought process of letting it sink in for a bit before I give you a stupid, over-the-top live reaction, all right? The truth of the matter is, if I did a live reaction to E3 stream, you guys would hate it, because my live reactions would be nothing. Dead face, deadpan, nothing interesting, because I don't over-the-top react to shit when I watch it. I actually am I just sit there and I take notes and, okay. And I think about it, and then afterwards, I'll react to it. That's how I am. So I don't think that it would be very interesting at all. At all. Okay? See, yeah, 4335 says, why don't you take off your pants and windmill at your E3 reveal? I mean, I'm sure that would bring in the views. I'd probably end up in jail for public exposure, and, I'd be banned from Twitch forever, and it would probably be the end of my life, so I don't think that makes sense. But I'd probably, bring in the views. Okay, then. So, no, I will not be live streaming E3 to do reactions, but I will do my usual style of watching it with you guys together, talking in the stream chat, and then doing a broadcast immediately following each E3 press conference, okay? Now, will I do a full unboxing of the PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox? Would I like to do that? Absolutely. 100%, million percent, yes. If you remember, when I did the live unboxings of the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, and hooked those consoles up, and I explored the dashboards for the first time, I messed with all the gadgets that came with them for the first time, and I played the first slew of games, that was actually not only one of the most fun things I ever did, but one of the most viewed things I ever did. People loved it. People really enjoyed doing that, seeing that live, and it ended up being very popular. So I would love to do that again. Problem is, in 2020, it's not the same as it was in, 2014 or 2013. My financial situation is much worse. I couldn't even tell you if I would be able to afford these consoles later this year, okay? It all depends on how a lot of factors go this year, okay? So what I would say is I can't guarantee anything. What I would like to say is I want to do it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to order these consoles, all right? It may be dependent on some support from you guys, okay? If you remember, 2 years ago, my PlayStation 4 was dying, and it was a fan who stepped up and donated a PS4 Pro, and that's why we had such amazing PS4 playthroughs for the last year and a half, because I got that replacement console that otherwise I couldn't afford, okay? So that's what it's all about. We'll see what happens, all right? Thank you for that support. I should give a major shout out and say thank you very much for that support, and allowing me to keep doing what I do, and during these trying times the past couple of years. Hopefully we can keep stuff going. I would love to say I want to have PS5 and the new Xbox on launch day. I want to do unboxings. I want to play the first generation of games for them and give you that coverage, but I can't even promise that at this point, okay? Honest Fan did 100-bit cheers. Let's get the hype train going. Rumor has it if a streamer says the word pubes, good cheers and big hype will come. What? I don't know about that. But thank you, Honest Fan, for a 100-bit cheer. That is the biggest cheer of the day. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Okay. Okay. Oh my God. Little Shop of Horrors, but it's spelled like a whore, like, a prostitute. Timmy $3 said, can I get a shout out to my Fragas? Well, I'm not going to put that name on my stream. I'm going to say LSOW, and you guys can figure out what it means. Thank you for the $3 tip. That is the biggest tip of the day. Shout out to the Fragas. There you go. Timbo Slice at a 50-bit cheer. He says, go pack, go, let's beat those birds. Go pack, go, let's beat those birds. I'm going to assume this has something to do with the Green Bay Packers, because I believe Timbo Slice GB stands for Green Bay, and I believe that the Packers are his team. And I believe we are heading into the end of the NFL season, where this is the playoffs, where all the teams are facing off for one last time. And I guess if the Packers win, they stay in the picture. I don't know who they're playing, because I think the Eagles already lost, right? So I don't know who the birds are that they're playing, unless I'm wrong and they are playing the Eagles, and the Eagles aren't out of it yet. I have no idea. But all right, thank you, Timbo, for the cheer. I guess I wish you luck in your quest to have the Packers be victorious. Atlas Telemon did a 100-bit cheer and says, maybe you already addressed this, but a fan has patched the Street Fighter V netcode by reverse engineering the source code because he did not have it and fixing online play in 2 days. This is not surprising, Atlas Telemon. So you guys know that, seriously, since day one, I told you guys Street Fighter V was terrible. Playing it online was one of the worst online experiences I ever had with a fighting game. To this day, the game is still terrible online, where there's horrible rollback, and it's just a bad time. It's not a very fun experience unless you're on some insanely good internet connection playing someone near you. Generally, the online experience of Street Fighter V has always been shit, and it's been like this, for years. Yet people still hype this game, still buy this game, still drop constant more money into this game. Okay? I don't know why. That's insanity to me. I thought since day one the game was terrible. For multiple reasons, not just the online play, but I thought the gameplay itself is bad, okay? But I digress. Apparently, what happened was a fan somehow data mined the game on PC, got into the code, fixed the online play. And now people who are playing on PC apparently have an insanely good connection, and everyone's playing this game with no lag and are having a great time. And now apparently what I was told the other day, it's kind of unfair for people playing on consoles because they have the broken version and it runs like shit, while everyone playing on PC has this amazing experience. So basically, it's not even an equal playing field anymore in the game. So this does not surprise me. There's a lot of rumors. I don't know if this is ever confirmed, but there was always a lot of rumors that with Street Fighter V, Capcom basically cut corners wherever they could. They outsourced a lot of the work to companies that were basically hack job companies, and or the original teams who worked on games like Street Fighter 4 weren't even majorly involved to some extent. That basically it was a rush job because they really wanted to make more money. You know, pretty bad. And basically, in my opinion, I think the whole game has been a joke to begin with since day one, and I don't like it. So if the best thing that could come out of this is that people collectively step up and say, we're going to have enough of this. We're not going to keep throwing money at a game that's been broken since day one, that's been unfun since day one. We want a new Street Fighter. Because the problem is people keep spending more fucking money on this game, and when they do, Capcom will not make a new game unless they realize that this money train has run out. And if people keep following the hype train because they're dumb and gullible, and they keep spending money on a game that's never been good, then you're going to see the game continue to milk the customer instead of actually having a new game, okay? So, that's my opinion, is that people just have to drop it. Stop playing Street Fighter V altogether, say, okay, the game sucks, this was the final, nail in the coffin, now that the online play is completely busted, let's not play it anymore until they make a new one. The rumor is that Capcom is working on Street Fighter 6 as a PlayStation 5 exclusive coming up either later this year or early next year. If that's the case, that could be huge. Will the game actually fucking work? Who knows? Because Street Fighter V sure didn't. But I guess we'll see what happens. Okay? Timbo Slice cheered and said the Packers play Seattle tonight. Oh, wow. He says he'll be at the game as well. Dude, that's huge. The Green Bay Packers against the Seattle Seahawks. And the Seahawks are actually doing really well this year. Which is crazy because when I first moved here, it was the year when the Seahawks had won the Super Bowl, but I moved here in the middle of the year, so everyone here was still hype. Everyone was wearing the Seahawks jerseys and the Seahawks hats, and still to this day, every store you go to has Seahawks merch everywhere. But it's hilarious because ever since I moved here, the Seahawks basically sucked. The next year, they choked in the Super Bowl, and then after that, they sucked for like 3 straight years. So this year is the first kind of major year where they're good again, and they actually have a chance to make it to the Super Bowl. I can't imagine what's going to happen if I seriously can't imagine what would happen if the Seahawks won the Super Bowl again. The whole state here would explode again. All I would see is fucking blue and green everywhere. So we'll see what happens. Again, I wish you luck, Timbo. I have no stake in this, even though technically the Seahawks are kind of my hometown team. I really don't care if they win or not. But I wish you luck, Timbo, and have fun at the game. That's going to be a super hype game. So, Alice Telemon cheered again. He says, James Chen and Max are ripping Capcom a new asshole and are saying that lag on one side does not mean the other side has it as well. Well, Atlas Telemon, I've been saying this for years. We actually know this, okay? It was proven way back with the release of Killer Instinct, and then subsequently, people started testing other fighting games. Because if you remember, in Killer Instinct, okay, what would happen is people would be playing a game, and you would win, but it would be weird. It would be like all of a sudden in the middle of a match, it would seem like the enemy wasn't really fighting at their full capacity anymore, like they were doing dumb things. So you would win, and that would be the end of it. But then people were recording, right? And then all of a sudden they would say, well, on my side, it was a completely different match. Here's what happened on my side. This was happening. And when people realize this, they realize what happens with a lot of these netcodes is that the games desync. And when they desync, it means one person could be having a perfectly good connection and the other person's completely lagged up and seeing something different on their screen. Then people started testing netcode for actual latency on each side and found not everyone even gets the same latency. So one person could be having no issues and the other person's like playing in molasses. And I say this all the time when I play fighting games and people don't believe me. Oh no, you're just complaining because you suck. Like, listen, you can not like me, but still use your fucking brain to understand that what I say sometimes is true, okay? When I talk about netcode in fighting games, truth of the matter is it is not an equivalent on both sides. Sometimes you'll have someone who does not have any issues, and sometimes you'll have someone who has tons of issues in the same match, all right? And it's kind of the same thing when you watch a first-person shooter. Right? How is it that on my side in a first-person shooter, I'm running up, there's a guy right in front of me. I shoot him 7 times, and it shows on my screen hit detection. I die instantly, and then when you watch the kill cam on their side, it shows they shot me first, even though on my screen you never even saw it. Because that's unequal netcode. It means the netcode is not in a situation where both sides are seeing and doing the same thing. So we know this. But sadly, people just want to, because I'm Darkside Phil, and I became kind of the laughing stock of the internet because people made fun of me in videos. You don't believe anything Phil says, right? I've only been saying for years that this is the case. That it's stupidity to believe that people on both sides of an online match are seeing the same thing and experiencing the same thing. It's ludicrous. It's completely false. But people believe that because of misconceptions and because of horse shit and because they don't want to believe me because they want to think that I'm just an idiot and I don't know anything, when in reality, it's completely the opposite. So it is what it is. Freddie B says it's called cognitive bias, or liking, disliking bias. People tend to readily believe people they like, and then they'll just actively, not believe people they don't like. I hear ya. That's what I think it is. You're right. So anyway, Atlas, again, I'm not surprised. James Chen and Max are very honest guys. They're very outspoken guys. They're very reputable guys. In fact, I would say in the Street Fighter community, I would say that they're two of the guys I would always believe and I would trust versus people who just talk shit and hype games up to make money. They're not like that. And so the fact that they're speaking up makes me feel good, that there are people speaking up. I'm not part of that community anymore. I haven't been for years. So I have no say in any of it, but it's good to hear that people are finally speaking up, and maybe the fucking Street Fighter 5 hype chain will finally derail. Obamium tipped me $1 and says, do you think Emperor Palpatine was responsible for the birth creation of Anakin Skywalker? I have no idea. I did not see the latest movie. I don't know how that may have an impact on the plot of any movie or whatever. So I have no idea. I won't have any opinion until I actually see the final movie, and then maybe I can formulate an opinion. So, but thank you for the $1 tip. Timothy come in here, tipped me $1, and basically is repeating some kind of weird memes about turtlenecks. I don't know what that meme's supposed to be, but I thank you for the $1 tip regardless. I still don't understand how this is a meme, a turtleneck meme, where that came from. Alvaro Ponte, what's going on, dude? He tipped me $1, says, did you see any future in a Call of Duty being good? I say hi to Kat and Jasper. I'll be very honest with you, okay? The only way I see Call of Duty being good is if the game developers stop being lazy and remake their netcode from the ground up. Redesign their netcode so that it's much better. And frankly, I don't see that happening. It seems like for the past 3-4 years, every single time you play Call of Duty online, it seems like the same equivalent experience of unequal matches. One match you play, it's amazing. The next match you play, everything's delayed, and you get killed cheaply. And then you watch the kill cam. That's not really what happened, but that's what happened according to the servers. So until they fix that, I don't care what they do with the gameplay at all. You can rebalance, redesign the gameplay as much as you want. If your netcode is shit, your game is shit, And that's the experience I had with Modern Warfare. That's the experience I had last year. That's the experience I had with World War II. Like, all these games, that's the experience I had. I'm sorry, but they just need to work harder if they want to make a good game. And these current generation games of Call of Duty are not very good, in my opinion. Okay? So thank you guys for the support. Let's now give a shout out. By the way, guys, it's Sunday. That means it's the very last day to get up on the leaderboard if you want to be one of the top cheerers of the week, or if you want to get up for being a sub-gifter of this week, because these leaderboards will reset overnight to 0 on Monday, and I won't be here tomorrow. So when we come back on Tuesday, it'll be like starting fresh, okay? But this has been a very supportive week for cheers because of the hype train that was added to Twitch. I appreciate that very much, and I want to say thank you to anyone who contributed this week to one of the hype train events. In particular, thank you to the top 10 cheerers of the week. In 10th place, we had Big D's. In 9th place, Darkside Chris. 8th place, 2-Bar King. That's actually a tie with Third Eye the Third for 7th place. In 6th place, Mr. Papavero. 5th place was Snake Eater. 4th place was Delancius. 3rd place, Spartan King. 2nd place, Blank Visage. And in 1st place for the week, Creepy Spaghetti. Thank you guys very much for that support. And then, as for gifted subs this week, thanks to everyone who gifted a sub. The following people all gifted one subscription. Yeah, 4335, Brandy Bottle, Philly Buckeye, El Nice Gaio, and Local Weatherman. Stimp711 gifted 2 subs. We had Guitar Player 1939 and Frenolith, who both gifted 5 subscriptions. Internet Famous McCroy gifted 6 subscriptions. And at the very top of the pack, Ripley Atomic gifted 11 subscriptions. Thank you guys very much. All right. So here's the deal. Oh, Philly Buckeye just cheered. Because it was known even before the new movie. It was Palpatine's former master, Darth Plagueis, who essentially created Anakin Skywalker. Okay, then. I don't know anything about the lore of Star Wars in that regard. Thank you for the cheer. XCOM Hype tipped me $1. Says, if people want you to do a live E3, why don't you give the fans what they want? People have asked you for years to do it. Why don't you say stuff no one would be interested? That's your opinion and not the masses. That's true, and that's my opinion. I'm a content creator, and I have the ability to make content that I feel is valid and intelligent and worthy of your watching, and I don't want to make fluff garbage content. That's why I don't do it. So the moment that I 100% put control of my content into the hands of the viewers is the moment that basically my business goes off the rails. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not against taking in feedback and getting suggestions of new events, new kinds of things to do. But I am staunchly against the reaction style video. I've never liked, oh, I'm going to watch a trailer live and go, oh, with my face and overreact like a fucking asshole. It's the lowest common denominator of content out there. It takes zero effort. It gets massive views because people are stupid. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. In my opinion, that's the truth of the matter. It's fluff content. It means nothing. It's people making free money for zero effort, and I don't like to do that. I'm at least going to put in some kind of fucking effort into the content I put out there, which is why I do stuff differently. If you don't like that, that's okay. There's about 40 million people who do the reaction style video because it's easy to do it, because it's fluff content, and because dumb people keep watching it. But I can't change that. All I can tell you is I'm not doing that. And the day that I kowtow to what people are asking me to do just because it's popular, you know, then you won't see me doing any of my shit anymore, right? It'll be all the over-the-top stupid shit that you see people doing constantly that I don't like. That's what you're going to see on my streams and in my videos. So, sorry, I'm not going to do it. All right? That's my opinion. You're not going to change my opinion either. Okay. The Ayatollah Khamenei? What the hell is this? Tip me $1 and says, if you could make a movie, what would it be? A sequel to Freddy Got Fingered. Freddy Got Fingered Again. That's what it would be. All right, guys. That is it for the pre-stream. I'm going to end this. I got to use the bathroom. So I'm going to run and use the restroom quick. And as soon as I get back, it is time for Final Fantasy VI fun. I hope that you guys are ready for Final Fantasy VI. This should be a really fun and chill stream. Thank you. I'll be back in just a moment.